You're listening to the Eastern Musketeers Sports Network on WSLM 1220 AM with Eli Guthrie and Dylan Beach. You'll hear all the live action tonight on the radio, along with live streaming on Facebook, X, and YouTube. It's game time, and we're ready here on WSLM.
Welcome here to Eastern High School, home of the Musketeers, where we welcome you for a Mid-Southern Conference clash between the Eastern Musketeers and the Scottsburg Warriors. I'm Dylan Beach alongside my color commentator, Eli Guthrie. Eli, we were at Salem last week for the game, an absolutely spectacular game last week. Let's give them a little bit of recap for the ones who weren't listening last week, Eli.
Last week, we saw a huge matchup between Salem and Eastern at Salem. The final score 22-21 with a controversial call at the last play of the game. Eastern had rushed the sideline with triple zeros on the clock, but the ball was not dead quite yet. Then again, beginning of the game, we saw 4 turnovers on 4 consecutive possessions to open the game.
Yeah, Cody Bannett sure thinks he can hurdle people, but I haven't seen it work out for him yet. We talked to him after the game. He said 2 hurdles this year, 2 fumbles. Don't think he's going to be doing any hurdles tonight, Eli. You said controversial call. I think we both think it was the correct call last week. I mean, might have been controversial on the Salem side, but I mean, that's how the game goes sometimes, always with a flag on the last play. But I mean, what a game. I mean, we finally found out who blocked that kick last week, Braden Jones. Another mystery we finally figured out was who Eastern was playing this week. I know me and Eli rifled about that for a little bit. It is confirmed that it is Scottsburg out here tonight. But I mean, we're looking forward to a great broadcast tonight. Eli, let's start hitting on some pregame topics. What are some keys to the game first for the visiting Scottsburg Warriors?
Well, last week we saw them play Mitchell. They ended up thumping Mitchell 56-6.
Absolutely. Huge blowout, that one.
It 100% was. And I made my key the number one time. Keep momentum from last week. If they want to come in here and beat the Musketeers with only a 4-point favorite on the John Harrell website, 28-24, I think we need to keep momentum from last week for the Scottsburg and even use the defensive lapses for the Musketeers to their advantage. Scottsburg seems to take offensive possessions when defenses make mistakes. They take bigger progress when that happens and find the outside run. We saw a lot of Salem outside runs last week, really getting like 10 to 15 yards per run for them last week. But now we got to see Scottsburg do the same thing if they want to win tonight.
Yeah, this is certainly a high-powered Scottsburg offense. Definitely passes more than any team we have seen so far from the Musketeers. I mean, they're led by the quarterback, Nathan Bird. I mean, last week having 253 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, and an interception. And then, I mean, he has 1,100 passing yards on the year. I mean, those are numbers we haven't seen from a quarterback so far this year, Eli.
They sure are. Those are high numbers for a high school quarterback. Last week, it was high numbers, about 253 passing yards for Scottsburg last week, giving out huge controversy to whether the Musketeers can handle their secondary right and hold that Warrior offense to lower passing yards tonight.
Yeah, they have got to do a better job in the secondary. The secondary has been good so far this year, but like I just mentioned, Eli, none of these teams have quite passed the ball as much as or often as the Scottsburg team does. I mean, you look at the receiving numbers on the year. I mean, Topi, he has 14 catches for 278 yards. And then what? Sorry, we had a fan try to get into the broadcast booth. Young Alex Howard trying to break in on us. But then, I mean, you got Holbrook. He's got 29 catches for 528 yards. He's who I have kind of highlighted on their offense as the guy to watch for. I mean, they also have a dynamic running back in that backfield. And Shuck, I mean, he has 105 carries, 532 yards. I mean, these are big-time numbers for a team that passes as often as they do.
They do. So you said 532 yards on the season. Last week alone, they had 243 yards on 31 carries for the Warriors in that win against Mitchell. Both those yardage added up equals over 500 yards of offense last week. Yeah. That's going to be huge for them to keep up tonight if they can win this against this Eastern team.
Yeah, Shuck, 14 carries, 146 yards, 3 touchdowns last week. Coming into the game, he only had 2 touchdowns, now up to 5 on the year. I mean, kind of a thumping for Mitchell. Might have to say a prayer for them on my way back through Mitchell whenever I head back home. But, I mean, this is definitely a high-powered Scottsburg offense. Let's do a flip side to the Eastern side. I mean, always going to be featured is Braden Jones. And, I mean, Braden Jones, 31 carries, 160 yards last week. huge week as normal for him.
Yes, it sure was. Braden Jones last week took a beating along the defensive line for Salem. He was able to fight through many tackles and able to make sure he was going to get those running yards back. He lost a few on a few plays, had -4 yards on a couple of them.
Okay, folks, we're going to take a little break here for the national anthem. We'll be back with the rest of our pregame show before this game gets started.
To honor America with the performance of the national anthem, 8-time Grammy Award winner, Chris Stapleton.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? Oh, so proudly we hailed at the twilight's edge gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the pale sky. Oh, the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets spread amongst the stealing, yeah, through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
We welcome you back to Eastern High School. We are just a minute and 40 seconds away for some football here tonight. Kind of a short pregame show for us tonight, Eli. Let's hit over the Eastern keys to the game here tonight.
So like we said last week, we saw great team bonding from the Musketeers, but this week they have a little bit more difficult of a game now. Scottsburg a little bit better than Salem as they beat Salem already this season. I think the Eastern Musketeers are going to have to pressure the Scottsburg offense tonight. Those big over 500 yards in total offense last week for the Warriors really sets them up for success this week if the Musketeers can stumble on defense like you do typically, and then control the possession time. That offense is great for the Warriors. If the Musketeers control possession time, that will keep the offense off the field for the Warriors and make the Musketeers more likely to get better in this game.
Yeah, and I got a couple more to add just from things that I've seen. One thing, got to be able to hold on to the football. No fumbles this week. Big turnover issues last week for them, including those 2 fumbles. And then my second key is getting Nathan McBride a little bit more involved in the running game. The running back carry split load last week, 31-1 in favor of Braden Jones. I mean, I know Braden Jones is your workhorse back, but I mean, he's never had anywhere near 31 carries any time this year. So, I mean, those are very big carry numbers. So I expect Nathan McBride to be a little bit more involved in the game here tonight.
I do too. I see McBride coming in with that fake option one way to Jones, back to McBride, like he saw multiple times in previous games leading up to this one. It's going to be a big test tonight to see if the Musketeer offense can either figure out they're going to get the run game going or the passing game going early.
Yeah.
I see it being running.
I mean, Nathan McBride, I mean, he offers you a little bit different of a running back to Braden Jones. I mean, every team needs that sort of like change down back, like a change of pace back. And I mean, he has the quick acceleration, and I mean, he's kind of more the elusive back. It feels weird to call him an elusive back, though, Eli, because, I mean, he is still able to run over guys, but regardless, we got 12 minutes on the clock, Eli. We got some high school football on here tonight.
We are ready.
Exciting.
Yes, it is. I'm really ready for this game tonight. The Musketeers could find their way to getting a getting a second or almost a second game on a conference W leading up to this will be a huge test for the Musketeers tonight.
Yeah, could get their third conference win as number 8, Topi, is off to kick this one. Also plays wide receiver for the Scottsburg team. He's off. He's ready to send this one off. Sends it deep. Fielded by Drury at the 10. Up to the 20. He's got a little bit of space to the 25, and he's wrapped up at about the 26. That space was kind of fool's gold there on that one, Eli.
We mentioned last week that Drury was an elusive return back on the kickoff for the Musketeers, as he's able to find those lanes and make lanes when lanes aren't appearing. He's able to get those yards back when that game kicked deep.
Yeah, Garrett Drury has been a solid returner for the Musketeers. And I mean, not usually your typical return man build. I mean, a little bit stockier than your prototypical speedy, elusive return man. But he's had some great returns as the year goes on. As Cody Bannett brings his team out onto the field, 9 of 16 last week in the air for 61 yards and a touchdown. He's in the shotgun, takes a snap, hands off to Jones. Jones gets up tied out the line of scrimmage. He's going to be brought down at about the line of scrimmage for a minimal gain, if any.
Musketeers had to figure out that running game once again. That play right there was not a good start for him. Maybe a minimal gain, about 1 yard. The Musketeers are slow to start so far.
If you're just joining us, folks at home, the game's just getting underway. 11:30 to play. Score still tied up at 0. I'm Dylan Beach alongside Eli Guthrie here on WSLM. Bannett bringing his offense back out onto the field. He's got 2 receivers off to his left, Temple off to his right. Jones is in the sidecar. Looking for the snap. Scottsburg has the box loaded, takes a snap, scrambles out left, looks to throw to Drury. Drury is going to drop that one, setting up a 3rd and about 9 here for the Musketeers.
I don't like that play rolling out left for a right-handed quarterback. He had that ball. It was about triple coverage there. He let it fly over the hands of a defensive back for the Warriors. Almost picked off. Could have ended very badly.
Yeah, you never like that crossbody throw. I mean, we've seen a lot of them happen throughout this year, though. I mean, Cody Bannett, not afraid to roll out to either side. I mean, a lot of these plays he is designed to roll outside of the pocket to get a little bit more room to throw these passes. Once again, Musketeers back out in the shotgun. Scottsburg showing blitz. Takes the snap, hands off to Jones. Jones gets up to the line of scrimmage, and he is going to be stopped early to set up a 4th and about 6 maybe.
This Musketeer offense is spitting and sputtering already. Now, we mentioned this defense when the Warriors was going to come in ready to play, but we aren't sure if the Musketeers are giving out the first series nerves or what. But they're going to start figuring it out soon, as we're going to see your first punt of the day on a quick 3-and-out.
Yeah, that's not an ideal start for the Musketeers, Eli. The offense got going early last week against Salem after all those turnovers last week, but can't be getting these early punts against this Scottsburg team. And that's a low snap on the punt, and that bunt is blocked. Number 10 on Scottsburg on the recovery there. That is a nightmarish start for the Musketeers, Eli.
You saw that snap coming in really low like we've seen in previous games. That ball is snapped very, very low out of the long snapper. But this time we see Bannett getting it into his hands. Let it slip right through, hit the turf for about 2 or 3 seconds. Now blocked.
Cornerback Matthew Wicke was the first one on that return, setting up shop in very, very favorable field position for the Warriors here. Let out onto the field by quarterback Bird. He's got Shuck in the backfield. 2 wide receivers off to his right, 1 to his left. Takes a high snap. This one's going to be a foot race to this ball. Who's going to recover? Musketeers have the first push, and Eastern's going to take over once again here, Eli.
Wow. We saw a fumble, a muff punt, blocked punt going the other way. Quick setting of field. The sideline of Scottsburg was going ballistic, and now they're all silent on the sideline as he snaps the ball over his head. Musketeers are quick to recover at the 36-yard line. Yeah,
there goes Nathan McBride, I believe that was on the recovery. That was a foot race there. I mean, anytime that ball is over that quarterback's head, it is a race to fall down on it. Eastern wins the first race there, gets the ball back, set up shop on the 35, 10 minutes and 15 seconds to play. Bannett back in the shotgun with Jones. He has 2 wide receivers off to his left. Drury's in the slot. Scottsburg showing blitz once again, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, takes off himself, gets outside the line of scrimmage, up for a couple of yards, and he's going to get up for a nice little first down gain there of about 7, Eli.
I like that fake handoff from Bannett there, as the key to this game was to get Jones going on that offensive running game like he has in previous weeks. The film would show for the Warriors that Jones runs the ball very, very strong. Able to fake that one this time. Bennett was able to pick up 6 or 7 yards.
Yeah, that's a great run to get Cody Bannett's wheels moving. Only 5 carries, 31 yards, and a fumble last week for him. He is a very versatile athlete, as we have previously mentioned. He's not afraid to take off on his own, but back out in the shotgun with Jones in the backfield once again. Takes the snap, hands off to Jones. He gets stuffed at about the line. He's going to get a gain of a few, setting up a 3rd and short here, Eli.
Jones, like we said, was going to be running the ball quite a bit. I know I've said it twice, 3 or 4 times now already, but he's getting going. He hasn't got quite many yards right now. He has about 5 yards to begin as this game so far, about 3 or 4 minutes into it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be all that worried for him, though. I mean, Braden Jones is a type of running back that gets better as the game goes on. His stamina surely can't be questioned anymore after the 31 carries from last week, but, I mean, he's a type of running back where in the 4th quarter it's going to be hard to tackle him.
It sure is. We were going to see a lot of 4th quarter running last week from Jones.
Yeah, I mean, they're not afraid to run it on any down. As it's 3rd and 1, takes the snap. Jones gets the handoff again. He's going to be met close to the line of scrimmage, but I believe he is going to get that first down to continue this Musketeer drive, Eli.
Sure was. It's not a bad drive starting off that turnover from the Warriors. Able to get a quick 10 yards in about 3 plays. I'd like to see it. Now I see Cody Bennett open this passing game up and find Temple or Drury on the outside.
Yeah, much better drive than the previous. I mean, Eli, a lot at stake here in these last few games for the Musketeers. Got 3 games guaranteed left in the year. They only need 2 more to tie the winningest season in program history. So that is definitely something to be watching for, and that's got to be on the minds of all the Musketeer players and fans. Bennett back in the shotgun, motioning Drury through, takes the snap, pitches out to Jones. Jones has a little bit of space, gets up to about the first down marker, and it's brought short for about a gain of 8 on the play, Eli.
Nice pitch and catch from Bennett to Jones, able to get to the outside. The outside was what plagued the Musketeers last week on the defensive end. Now they're able to capitalize on their own side of the ball, get to that outside and break contain.
The clock just under 8 minutes in this, or just ticking to 8 minutes in this one. The Musketeers now in Warrior territory. Cody Bennett leading himself a nice drive. He has 2 wide receivers off to the left. Drury's in the slot. Temple all alone on the right. Caleb King, the substitute tight end, is in on the play. Takes the snap. Drops back to pass. Steps up. Tries to get outside the pocket. And he's going to let that one get out of bounds. Nice little bit of evasiveness from Cody Bennett to avoid taking the sack on that play, setting up a 3rd down.
Bennett to the outside was looking for that single matchup on the right side near the Scottsburg sideline for Temple, lining up against the man coverage. He was down the field about 30 yards. Bennett was looking to let him fly, but the coverage came from the Warriors and stumbled him up a little bit, looking to flee outside, break the pocket out, end up throwing the ball away, bring up a 3rd and short.
Yeah, Scottsburg been showing blitz a lot so far. That's the first time they've really brought a lot of pressure, really got to the quarterback on that one. Setting up a 3rd and 3 here, 7:37 to play in this one, still tied at 0. Bennett's got 2 wide receivers off to the right, Drury alone on the left, takes the snap. It's going to be a quarterback keeper. He's going to get outside, going to be wrapped up by his jersey, and he is not going to get the conversion. Going to be an interesting 4th down for the Musketeers, Eli.
We saw a potential horse collar tackle there from the Warriors defense. Ended up getting a hand on Bennett's jersey, pulling him down about a yard short of the first down marker. I'd like to see the Musketeers stay on the field right now for a conversion.
Yeah, some puzzled Musketeer players. I don't think it was a horse collar. Definitely got a lot of jersey there. But, I mean, 4th down and 1, that spells Braden Jones all over it, Eli. I would expect a handoff right up the gut here.
I sure would, but right now we have them looking over at the sideline, confused a little bit at what they're going to do for this 4th down play. I like to see Jones up the middle, like you had previously mentioned.
5 seconds on the play clock. Eastern trying not to use a timeout. Takes a snap, gets it to Braden Jones, and he is going to have the first down by maybe a yard or 2. A successful 4th down conversion. The Musketeers 1 for 1 on the day on 4th down conversions.
They sure are. We saw Jones and Bennett both run the ball combined for 8 times already in this game. There aren't too many yards when they do so, but they're able to get enough to where they can set them up for lower yards when it comes to 3rd and 4th down. We're seeing it now as they get, like you said, get their first conversion on 4th down tonight.
Yeah, and every time you run the ball, Eli, that play action pass to either Temple, Drury, or even King sometimes, I mean, it's going to get more open every time you run the ball. Pretty big here. Musketeers got 3 wide receivers to the left, motioning Temple through. Bennett takes a snap. He's got a speed option with Temple. Finally pitches, and that is going to be blown up by the Warriors. Not a great play for the Musketeers on that one.
We liked what we saw to begin with. He motioned Temple across. I feel like that was more of a book read there from the Warriors. As they saw the play on film, they ran it quite a few times last week. Temple was able to get a few yards, though, but this time he was met in the backfield for about a 3.5, 4-yard loss.
Yeah, Eastern taking a 5-yard loss on that one. Ball on the 47 on the right hash. 5:48 to play in this one. Still tied up at 0. Musketeers taking the field for this 2nd and long here. They've got 2 receivers off to the right. Jones in the backfield. Motioning Drury through is Bennett. Hands off to Jones. He's got a couple of blockers. He gets up past the original line of scrimmage for a very nice gain on that play, Eli, of about, let's say, 11 or 12.
If this was the regular marking point, he would have got a first down on that run. That run we haven't saw quite a bit yet tonight. I feel like when they're behind the chains, he shows a little bit more urgency on that running, be able to trot his feet and dig into the ground a little bit.
Yeah, one of Eastern's favorite looks so far this year, Eli, motioning Garrett Drury through and having him almost as a lead fullback blocker there. It's worked a lot for them on the year. I mean, if you're Scottsburg, you got to start being cautious of when you see Garrett Drury in motion, not to fully bite on it every time. Eastern back out here again. Drury's in the slot. Bennett takes a snap. He hands off to Jones. Jones trying to get up the field. He's going to get maybe about half the distance he needed, setting up a 4th down here of about 4th and 3.
4th and 3 for the Musketeers is a big yardage, about 4th and medium coming up for them. We saw him convert a 4th and 1 earlier, but the running the ball at the middle right now may not work. But then again, a power back like Jones might be able to find his footing. Although in that last run right there, he did trip himself up about 2.5 yards short of that first down marker.
Yeah, it's ended up ruling as just a gain of 1. 4th and 4 here for the Musketeers. Going to see what Coach Dean is drawing up on 4th down. They previously converted. Musketeers got 2 on the right side. Temple alone in man coverage. Hands off to Jones. Jones is met early, and Scottsburg is going to get the stop they needed to get off the field. Setting up shop with 4 minutes to play in this first quarter. A huge stop for this Warriors defense, Eli.
We saw the exact plays. We had two plays ago in that drive. They motioned Drury across the center as that lead blocker for the Musketeers. As that time, the Warriors read it. They were right there when Jones took the handoff, able to lose a yard and get this Warrior offense back on the field after that mishap on the first drive.
Yeah, Braden Jones walking out the sideline a little slow there, limping a little bit. That'll be something to watch here as the Warriors' deep offense takes the field again. The snap is good this time, and Shuck takes the handoff up the middle for about a gain of 3 or 4, Elon.
That run was a great opening run, a big bring back from the Warriors now as they fumbled the ball on their first drive, snapped over the head. This one was able to get about 5 or 6 yards to open this next drive up.
Yeah, to illustrate you how good of a week Shuck had last week, he had 14 carries for 146 yards, almost half as many carries as Braden Jones and only 14 fewer yards. And we're going to have a jump from the end edge rusher Caleb King, and that is going to set up a first down for the Warriors at about midfield.
I don't know if we saw it much last week from the Musketeers. They did jump off sides once or twice against Salem late in that game, but now we see it in this time when the hard snap comes. The Musketeers are very, very weak on reading that snap count.
Yeah, that was a very disciplined play from the sophomore quarterback Nathan Bird to get this Musketeer team to jump off sides there. Hoping to keep his snaps under control here as he takes a snap. He drops back to throw. He airs one over the top, and he is going to have his receiver overthrow him there, and that is going to be an incompletion on the play.
Few more steps forward, he would have been right there in stride for a touchdown. As he had Temple beat by 3 or 4 yards, there wasn't much coming behind him there. No safety in the backfield. Drury, the safety right there, the full safety on the 35-yard line, looking for that one. Not quite the speed they need.
Yeah, Temple had been beat by a couple of steps there. The intended receiver on the play, number 8, Topi, he was the kicker earlier. He is also the punter. He was 0 for 1 on field goals I think that's just on the season. 8 of 8 on PATs last week. That's a sign of a successful offense. As Bird takes a snap, gets it to Shuck, and Shuck is going to be tripped up by his own guy and a couple of Musketeer defenders on the play. And if this play stands after the flag, it would be a huge second down stop for the Musketeers.
I see a premature snap count there from the Warriors, maybe an illegal shift or a false start. False start's a dead ball penalty. Illegal shift, they did call illegal shift on the Warriors. That penalty will be declined, though. setting up a 3rd down and 13.
That's a smart call from Coach Dean there. I mean, 3rd and 13 is a lot better than 2nd and 15. Got to get them pushed back here. I mean, Musketeers blowing that one up. Shuck tripped up a little bit by one of his O-linemen. One of them got tripped early, then met by a couple Musketeer interior tackles on that play, setting up a crucial 3rd and 13 here. 3 minutes and 10 seconds to play in this one. We're still tied up at 0. Takes the snap, looks to throw. He has Topi. Topi catches it for 1st down and more. Spins one, gets to about the 30, and he is going to be gone. There goes Topi for his 5th touchdown of the year. That is a huge start for this Scottsburg team, Eli.
That was a big catch and run, 55 yards to the house for the Warriors. He was able to get that ball, snap a few ankles, put him in the spin cycle, break past Temple on the diving tackle attempt into the house on a 3rd and 13.
Yeah, that one almost certainly is going to end up on the news later tonight, Eli, on WLKY. That was a great spin move there from Topi to get in the end zone, breaking tackles. And we have got a first score of this game. Scottsburg leads 6-0, 2:54 to play. Topi back out to finish off the touchdown. Snap is down and up, and that ball is going to get no good on that play. A little bit of an awkward angle. Couldn't really see that one, but that one's going to be no good. Score stays at 6-0.
8 for 8 on the season for PATs. Turn that into 8 for 9 now.
No, 8 for 8 of last week.
Last week.
23 of 24 on the year, now 23 of 25.
Yeah, make that 23-25 on the season now for the kicker. After he caught the touchdown, he goes there to kick the extra point. Does not quite find his find there. He might have been a little tired for that big 55-yard run he had.
That's impressive to have having to kick 8 PATs in a game. I mean, that's certainly a sign that your offense is doing the right things inside every week. They did score 49 points last week in the first half.
Yeah, they did. They scored 49 in the first half. They must have put their JV in coming up into the second half, only putting 56 up on the Blue Jackets of Mitchell. This Warriors are off to a quick start now.
Maybe showing off a little bit of that sportsmanship we hear during Commissioner's Corner and such. Huge drive there for the Warriors. Got to see a bounce back here for the Musketeers. 2:54 is on the clock. Warriors, the visiting team, leads 6-0. Drury and Temple are back deep to return this kick. Topi coming back out to send this one off. I mean, already establishing himself as one of the main players of this game.
Sure is. We'd like to see what he's doing now. He kicked an extra point, had a touchdown, and now kicking the ball off, sending it away. We'll see this Musketeer offense again.
Yeah, a lot of Swiss Army knives in high school football, Eli. My bad, folks. Drury going to field this one at the 5, up to the 10, now to the 15, trying to cut back to midfield, to about the 25 now. A decent little return there for Drury of about 20-ish on the play, setting up the Musketeers just outside of the 20.
That's where we saw him take that first opening kickoff to the 26, 27-yard line. And he was able to find those lanes again. But now we're going to have to see the Musketeers come back on the field, getting another glimpse of what this offense can do as Bennett is struggling with his offense to start this game.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, Eastern trails the Warriors 6-0, 2:46 left in the first quarter. The Musketeers take the field back here on offense once again. Bennett in the shotgun with Nathan McBride. 2 wide receivers off to the left, 1 to the right. Temple's got solo coverage. That might be one to watch out on. Bennett motioning Drury through, takes the snap, fakes the handoff to McBride, looks for Drury. Drury's got some space. Gets a first down and more down to the 45 before being shoved out of bounds. A huge play there for Garrett Drury, Eli.
An 18-yard catch and run for the Musketeers there. As we see on previous drive, they motioned Drury across, but they handed off to Jones when that whole play ensued. But this time they faked the Warriors out, and they find Drury, that motion man, and get 18 yards.
A nice RPO on the play. I mean, lots of people like to say that the NFL is this fancy offense thing. You got to look at the high school game for some of these funny, tricky plays. A great first down there for the Musketeers. Just shy of Warrior territory now. Bennett back in the shotgun with McBride again. When we are going to have a flag on the play, going to have a false start on the Warriors.
Offsides on the Warriors.
Or offsides, yeah, my bad. I always get those ones mixed up. I am human on that one. Nice little first down for the Musketeers. Setting up inside Warrior territory once again. Last time, that last drive, once again, also ending in Warrior territory before stalling out. Got to really get into the end zone to answer here, Eli.
They sure do. We're going to see a glimpse of the outside with that single matchup over on the left.
Bennett takes a snap once again, fakes the handoff, runs outside. He is getting wrapped up deep, and we are going to be back way behind the original line of scrimmage there for a big loss.
Another sack for the Warriors defense, able to make Bennett pressure himself and speed up that offense for the Musketeers, not able to look through his progressions quite as much as he'd like to, as he had that single man matchup over here, looking to that one long again, but had to speed up and ended up having to take the sack.
Yeah, Aiden Miller with a spectacular block on that play, dealing with the first defender, but unfortunately for the Musketeers, a lot more than one guy was blitzing there, as they have 3 wide receivers off to the right for this 2nd and 12. Bennett in the shotgun, takes a snap, hands off to McBride. McBride trying to get up outside. Met at the line of scrimmage. He's going to get back to about the original line of scrimmage to set up a 3rd and 10 here, Eli.
About a 4